In a world that often promotes the pursuit of happiness, comfort, and convenience, Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy stands as a bold and challenging counterpoint. Rather than seeking to avoid hardship, Nietzsche suggests that suffering, struggle, and even chaos are essential components of a meaningful and profound life. This perspective might seem counterintuitive, especially in a culture that tends to prioritize ease and pleasure, but Nietzsche argues that it is through confronting life's difficulties that we are able to grow, transcend our limitations, and ultimately find our true power. Nietzsche's ideas have had a profound impact on philosophy, psychology, literature, and even modern culture. His provocative assertion that life's greatest potential lies in embracing suffering forces us to reconsider our approach to challenges. But how can we make sense of suffering and struggle in a world that encourages us to escape discomfort at every turn? This essay will explore Nietzsche's philosophy of life, focusing on his concept of suffering, the will to power, and the process of becoming who we truly are through struggle. By the end, we'll see how Nietzsche's ideas can inspire us to live a life of strength, creativity, and transformation. Before we dive deeper into Nietzsche's philosophy, welcome to The Unfolding Journey, a space where we explore the profound teachings of philosophers, spiritual leaders, and thought-provoking figures throughout history. Our aim is to bring ancient wisdom and modern philosophy to light, and to show how these teachings can illuminate our lives today. Whether you're new to Nietzsche or you're familiar with his work, this channel is dedicated to helping you explore life's deeper questions and find meaning in both struggle and triumph. At The Unfolding Journey, we encourage you to reflect on the big questions and apply these ideas to your own life. We aim to make philosophy accessible, relevant, and transformative in the modern world. So sit back, relax, and let's begin this journey into Nietzsche's philosophy of life. Nietzsche's philosophy of life, embracing suffering, struggle, and growth. Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher of the 19th century, is often regarded as one of the most influential and controversial thinkers of modern philosophy. His writings challenged traditional views on morality, religion, and society, advocating for a radical rethinking of what it means to live a fulfilling life. One of his central themes was the idea that human existence is defined not by the pursuit of comfort and pleasure, but by the embrace of suffering and struggle. Suffering as an inescapable part of life. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy is the acceptance of suffering as an integral part of life. Nietzsche rejects the notion that suffering is something to be avoided at all costs. Instead, he argues that suffering is essential for growth and self-overcoming. According to Nietzsche, the human experience is inherently filled with challenges, pain, and conflict. Rather than denying or escaping these struggles, we must embrace them as opportunities for personal transformation. In his famous work, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche writes, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates his philosophy on suffering. Nietzsche believed that life's hardships, whether emotional, physical, or existential, are the crucible in which individuals forge their strength. Without challenges, there can be no growth. To live a life of meaning and vitality, we must accept suffering as an essential part of our existence and learn to transform it into a force for personal development. This view of suffering is in stark contrast to many modern perspectives, which often seek to eliminate discomfort through materialism, distractions, or even spiritual escapism. Nietzsche challenges us to reconsider our instinctual desire for pleasure and security, urging us instead to embrace discomfort as a tool for self-discovery. By doing so, we cultivate resilience, self-mastery, and an authentic sense of self-worth. The will to power, struggle as a creative force. Central to Nietzsche's philosophy is the concept of the will to power, which he describes as the fundamental driving force of human existence. The will to power is not simply a desire for domination or control over others, as it is often misunderstood, but a deeper impulse to assert and express one's full potential in the world. Nietzsche believed that human beings are inherently driven by a desire to grow, create, and transcend their limitations. Struggle, in this sense, becomes a creative force, something that propels us forward rather than holding us back. The will to power is not only about external accomplishments, but also about internal transformation. It is through struggle that we break free from old patterns, challenge the status quo, and push ourselves toward new possibilities. In this way, struggle becomes the means through which we create meaning in our lives. In Nietzsche's view, the struggle for self-actualization is an ongoing process, one that requires us to continually confront our weaknesses and limitations. It is through this constant striving for growth and excellence that we define our true selves. By embracing the will to power, we are called to transcend mediocrity and embrace the challenge of becoming more than what we are. Becoming who you are. The path of self-overcoming. Nietzsche's concept of self-overcoming is one of the key elements of his philosophy. He argued that the ultimate goal of human life is not to seek comfort or pleasure, but to become who we truly are. This process of self-overcoming involves confronting our fears, doubts, and insecurities, and using them as catalysts for growth. Nietzsche believed that individuals are constantly in the process of becoming, and that true freedom comes from the courage to break free from societal norms and self-imposed limitations. In his book Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche writes, "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you." This quote illustrates the idea that the process of self-overcoming is not without danger. As we confront our weaknesses and wrestle with the darker aspects of our nature, we risk becoming consumed by them. However, Nietzsche argues that it is precisely in this struggle that we find our true strength. By facing the abyss, we transcend it and grow stronger, more resilient, and more authentic. For Nietzsche, the key to self-overcoming is the ability to challenge our existing values and beliefs. He calls for a re-evaluation of all values, encouraging us to question the traditional moral frameworks that have been imposed upon us. This is where Nietzsche's famous concept of the Übermensch, or Overman, comes into play. The Übermensch is an individual who has transcended conventional morality and societal expectations, creating their own values and living in accordance with their deepest desires and instincts. The journey toward becoming an Übermensch is one of continuous struggle and self-discovery. It is a path that requires individuals to embrace their inner conflict and transform it into a force for creativity and self-expression. In this sense, Nietzsche's philosophy is not about achieving a static ideal, but about embracing the perpetual process of growth and self-overcoming. The eternal recurrence, embracing life as it is. One of Nietzsche's most radical and thought-provoking ideas is the concept of the eternal recurrence. This idea suggests that all of life, with all its suffering and joy, is destined to repeat itself infinitely. Nietzsche challenges us to imagine that every moment of our lives, every decision, every joy and sorrow, will recur eternally. If this were true, how would we live our lives differently? The idea of the eternal recurrence forces us to confront the value we place on our own lives. Would we be able to embrace the repetition of all our experiences, even the painful ones? Nietzsche argues that to truly affirm life, we must be willing to accept it in its entirety, including its suffering and struggles. This is a powerful challenge to our instinctual desire to avoid pain and discomfort. Nietzsche's call is not for resignation, but for the total embrace of life as it is, with all its ups and downs. It is through this radical affirmation of life that we find true freedom and vitality. The eternal recurrence is not meant to be taken as a literal metaphysical doctrine, but as a thought experiment that invites us to reconsider how we approach our lives. It challenges us to live in a way that we would be willing to repeat eternally, fully embracing both the struggles and the triumphs that shape us. Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy is not for the faint of heart. It calls for a deep and radical engagement with life, one that embraces suffering, struggle, and conflict as essential aspects of human growth. By rejecting the pursuit of comfort and ease, Nietzsche challenges us to embrace the full spectrum of human experience, including its darkest moments, as opportunities for transformation and self-actualization. Nietzsche's ideas remind us that life's struggles are not to be feared or avoided, but embraced as the very means by which we evolve. Through suffering, we develop strength and resilience. Through struggle, we assert our will to power. And through self-overcoming, we create our own meaning and values. In Nietzsche's view, the process of becoming who we are is a lifelong journey, one that requires courage, creativity, and the willingness to confront the deepest aspects of our nature. By embracing the challenges of life and confronting suffering head-on, we can become more than what we are and live a life that is truly ours, one that is rich in meaning, purpose, and power. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Nietzsche's philosophy of life. If you found this video insightful, be sure to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel for more thought-provoking content on philosophy, personal growth, and timeless wisdom. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on new videos that help you navigate life's challenges and find meaning in the struggle. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your thoughts on Nietzsche's ideas. How do you interpret his philosophy in your own life? We look forward to continuing this journey with you.